Welcome back, everybody, to a victory Tuesday when it comes to the game. Obviously, we've been through a lot in the last 24 hours, and I just told Gordon I just got to get something I got to get off my chest. We usually do a little bit of an intro, but so the last 24 hours have been extremely painful, obviously, for every single Jets fan. Before I go into this, welcome Brian back again, third amigo.
Yes.
We appreciate having you, dude. We're going to appreciate your insight here tonight.
Absolutely.
But 24 hours have been absolutely horrible. There's been disbelief. I don't think we actually truly want to recognize what's happening, that we're going back to Zach Wilson, all this type of stuff. But we're going to get into all that tonight. I just want to point something out before we go into, the pessimistic side of being a Jet fan. So last year, Zach Wilson was at the helm in his second year when he still had no confidence, was a negligent quarterback, really didn't have a lot to him. He went 6-3, 7-4, and then obviously we know what happened from there. Breece Hall got hurt, Elijah Vera Tucker got hurt, Corey Davis went on the IR, I think, for a little bit, whatever it was. We had injuries and we just couldn't overcome them, and it just became, the season became what it did. We finished 7-10, and it was a disappointment. We have a Zach Wilson now that's been mentored slightly by Aaron Rodgers over the past couple months. He showed some signs of progression during the offseason and during some of the preseason games, and he looked okay during the game where he actually won versus the Bills. We have Breece Hall back in the backfield, who's looking good, who looks to be returning to his old self in a few games. He looked a little rusty. We have an added Dalvin Cook. If I could say, I think our defense is going to be better this year than it was last year. We have a Garrett Wilson who's coming into his own. We have all of the pieces still right now and more that we had last year when we were 6-3. So I know things look grim. Things look like, we're no longer even a playoff team. But again, with adequate play at the quarterback position, we should still be a team that makes it to the playoffs. I would even say wins a few games in the playoffs, at least with Zach Wilson. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going out with this type of injury, and I expect him to be back next year. And things are not looking good right now, but I still feel the slightest bit of optimism for this year because of what team is assembled around Zach Wilson and the fact that it's actually better than last year, barring injuries, because that will derail this season. Some sort of a Sauce injury, a Garrett Wilson injury, that will ruin us, and then we'll be done. If our guys stay healthy, I don't see any reason why we won't be a playoff team this year because of what we've already seen. We saw Zach Wilson at his worst, and he was 7-4, 6-3. So if we get a little bit of that, plus all of the already veterans that we've added, I still feel that we're a very solid team right now and that we can make a good push.
I mean, I agree.
I wanted to start us off with that because I knew that if I didn't start us with that, there was no way I was getting there. There's no shot I was 100%. Going optimism.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you said it
there.
Optimism is all Jets fans have, right? Optimism is all we have. It's all we've ever had. Every season, it's like we get broken down by the end of the season, and then we're picked back up, right? This season felt light years difference because we had Aaron Rodgers at the helm, right? And then obviously the play broke down. We'll get into that in in a little while. But you said it, man. We still have all these pieces. Breece Hall looks like he's getting back to full steam. I think on one of that long run he had, I think we saw him lose a little bit of steam. I think Breece Hall of the past would have taken that home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But dude, our
defense
yards
is a long run.
It is.
83 yards and no touchdown.
First game back after tearing your ACL, it might as well have been a damn mile, right? But I think the defense left off where it started, where it left off last season. I think we had, you could argue a little bit of drop off with Gardner this game, but he was up against Stephon Diggs. So I'm not again, that's a little bit of an asterisk kind of, but dude, I agree. Optimism's all we have. I'm a Zach Wilson believer, always have. Yes, I've criticized him, but I mean, I like the kid. I think he's going to do great. And hopefully we get Rodgers back under this pseudo QB coach kind of thing. You know what I mean? I know a lot of players go on IR. I don't know what that's going to be like being in and around the team. But I'm hoping we still get him in some sort of mentor coaching role towards Zach Wilson. I mean, I think Pat McAfee said it today, dude. He's like, without talking to Rodgers, he's like, he knows Aaron. AJ Hawk knows Aaron. Aaron's not going to want to go out like this, right? So fingers crossed that we get Aaron Rodgers back in 2024 or 2025. I forget how it's weird how the NFL labels their years.
Like school, you don't really know what year it is.
So it's like next season, hopefully we get Rodgers back. But again, we're getting a 40-year-old quarterback who's on a repaired Achilles. So there's obviously going to be some pessimism there. But you said it, man. A lot to unpack, but you said it, dude. Optimism's all we got, and we got to be positive.
Brian, bring us back down to earth a little bit here. Give me your reactions to you're watching the game. He goes down, he comes out, Zach Wilson comes in. What is happening? What are you feeling? What are you experiencing?
So the first 15 minutes of ESPN's coverage was absolute lightning, right?
Yeah.
The stadium all blacked out. Everyone had like the bands on, and it was just glowing green. Him running out with the American flag on 9/11, just absolute insanity. The Jets defense gives up the first down, forces a punt, back where we're at. And now Aaron Rodgers walking on the field, throws out the love sign to the crowd, and I was amped. And 75 seconds later, my hopes were crushed.
4 plays. 4 plays.
4 plays. 4 plays. And we can get into the play calling. We can get into the logic of having Dwayne Brown on a surgically repaired shoulder, doing like high school chop blocks. We can get into it. I'm sure we will talk out of our ass like we know what offensive line play looks like.
Exactly.
And I, over the last 24 hours, have run a full range of emotions. I was furious. I was texting you guys last night. I was like, this is all our fault. We're so fucking stupid for getting so jacked up about a Jets season. We've been Jets fans for 20 plus years. We know exactly what happens, right? We have last time Favre, we're 7-3, number 1 seed. He tears his bicep. We lose every game, right?
Might have been 8-1.
So we might have been 8-1.
It was 8. It was 8-3. 8-3.
8-3.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle of what we both said. And I was angry because, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just friends with a doctor who worked for an NFL team, and he said, "No, his Achilles is done
right away."
Right away. And so while you guys were texting like high ankle sprain, maybe he's getting taped up or whatever, my friend was like, "Sorry, bud."
Thank you for saving us that.
So
yeah.
I couldn't even do that. We needed, like you said, we needed some hope.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? I went from furious to like legitimately upset because of how well the rest of the team played. And I just kept thinking how far the Jets could have gone with Aaron Rodgers. Like, this would have been a year. Then I watched the rest of the game. The defense played out of their mind, right? A rare, quote unquote, bad game for Sauce Gardner, giving up 60 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
A top 4 receiver in the whole world.
Yeah.
And then today, I was pretty much shut down. And we'll get into the rest of the game, and like, obviously, super exciting, and there's a lot of positives to come out of the game, but there's just this one rain cloud.
You just can't I can't look past it, dude.
It's
so sickening.
It's impossible.
I still haven't really accepted it. Like, I literally right now, as you're talking, I'm thinking that Aaron Rodgers will come back like halfway through the season. Like Zach will play until the bye week, and then Aaron Rodgers would take over like week 7.
You know who's coming in the bye week?
Yeah.
Jameis Winston, Gardner Minshew, someone like that.
If Jameis Winston comes in,
that's who's walking through the door.
I'm hurling myself off the roof of my house. And whatever happens, happens. I hope
good thing it's only a one story, dude.
Is that a 2-story or?
It's a 1 story, maybe 1.5 in the back. I've been to his.
Yo, I'll join you. That sounds like a fun Saturday afternoon.
There's an attic though, dude. It's pretty tall up there.
Yeah. So today I really tried to avoid all things. On like my prep at work, I normally throw on Pat McAfee just like in the background as I'm writing the lesson plan or whatever. Didn't today. Like I couldn't even tell you what I did. I went through the motions of work and being an adult today. And I think I'm at a point where I can accept that maybe I was too hyped for what could have been awesome.
No,
we'll never know.
You were not. How could you not get that way?
Yeah, too hyped. We had Aaron.
There's no way. Like the only reason you would not get too hyped, and which would have been totally lame if you were one of those Jet fans that just goes, and like we're pessimistic. Yes, I get it, and it's funny to be pessimistic, but like
it's in our nature.
You had to be excited for this year. You had to be excited for Rodgers. If you were one of those people that was like, "Oh, this is never going to work out. Rodgers is going to get hurt." Like you had to get excited. If you don't get excited during this offseason, then like you're truly just a miserable human being.
We had 2 television shows pumping us up.
You know, so we got excited, and in typical Jets fashion, we got let down. That's what happens. But this was like, the dude has not been injured in 20 years. He even broke his thumb and still played through it.
Yeah.
How does this happen?
I mean, he missed games in 2018, like 7 games in 2018, and then again in like this, early 2000s. But nothing like this. No. Now, are we blaming the turf? Are we thinking it's a freak accident? Like, are we blaming turf? I know turf obviously has something to do with it, right? His foot stuck.
It's what happens when a 300-pound defensive lineman rides you to the ground.
Is on top of you, and you're trying.
I don't think it's
all your cleats are still in the ground.
Now
could
again,
grass have helped? Maybe, but if it pops, it pops. That's kind of what my understanding of an Achilles is. There's no stretching.
Grass only gives so much. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, like you said, they're like going into the X's and O's of like, because I remember even like it was 4 plays, right? So I think it was play 2, a very similar chop block, like the tackles were chop blocking, and like I was like, what the hell's going on? Block these people, because Rodgers rushed out and like held onto the ball a little bit, and rushed around and didn't get, that was 2 plays I think before this. And like I was like, why are we chop blocking? Block your guy, be a man, block him. Don't just dive.
That report came out. He doesn't even like those plays, and he was verbal about not liking those plays.
So I have not read that. I didn't know that, but like
it came out that he said he doesn't like those. He doesn't like those chop blocks because he doesn't feel like he has enough time to extend the play if it breaks down. And that's
so it was a design quick slant. So the tackles are supposed to get down quick to hopefully bring the defensive ends down, like their play down, so they don't bat the ball, right? Because a quick slant's only 5-6 yards, very low. You're not lofting it, so very easy to get batted down. So like,
yard after a catch situation.
And Garrett Wilson was open. He was like, I've seen you. There's a picture circling around of like Dwayne Brown chop blocking, Aaron Rodgers looking at Garrett Wilson and not throwing the ball. Now, again, that's uncharacteristic. I'm not blaming it on Rodgers, but it was just like the perfect storm of things happening. And
I didn't even see that.
It could have only happened to the Jets, right? Like that's how I feel. It's the most Jet thing to ever happen. We get this phenomenal quarterback.
The freakiest thing 24 years ago today. Do you know what happened?
Testaverde too?
Vinny Testaverde blowing out his left Achilles.
Yeah, same thing.
99.
Unreal.
99.
Unreal. All right.
Yep. Well, we usually go into the gas and the brakes, so let's go ahead and do that. We could sit here all night and spend time.
I think we all know our break, Dan. I think we all know the break.
Well, I got a different one. I'm going to try to, Rodgers, we know what's going on. I'm still going to wear his jersey this year, dude. I just feel, and let's say before we kind of move past him, like how sad it is for that dude. Garrett Wilson, I just watched an interview with him, and
this broke me, dude.
Dude. He said he went to him at halftime and was just like, "Hey, man, we love you." And And Rogers like, sorry, kid, I love you back. And it's, man,
that broke me, dude.
As
I get
a man and like
up
to a
just
man, what do
thinking
they
about
say?
it.
To a man, dude. I
Dude,
feel so bad for him.
He brought all of the assets over to the Jets he thought that we needed in order to succeed. He took a $35 million pay cut. He was
18 years
embracing the
in Green Bay,
lifestyle. Man,
then to come here, man. Like,
so we're fans. That's his lifestyle. It's what he does. So it's tough for us. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to be that guy. But something just to switch it up a little bit. Something on defense I was a little worried about was just C.J. Mosley. I thought he played a little slow.
I agree.
He's like he's one of my favorite players. So I was like really honing in on him. I was watching him over everybody. Like Sauce is going to be fine. DJ is going to be fine. Whitehead, amazing. Parks is going to be great. Defensive line is obviously everyone's a stud. You love Sherwood. Everything was fantastic. If I could nitpick, obviously, on the defensive side of the ball, CJ Mosley just got a little bit caught a few times. Allen was able just to run by him. He missed a tackle or two and just looked a little bit slow. So it's just kind of something to watch throughout the year. Hopefully he's not missing it because last year, I know he was a Pro Bowler, but we all felt like, is he a little bit slower? This year, I just feel like he might be kind of slowing down a little bit, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. On that note, that's what Josh Allen does, though.
Yeah.
If it's a middle linebacker on Josh Allen in space, it's tough for that middle linebacker, regardless of who it is.
Yeah, it's a good
to
point.
win that.
And who, like to mirror that, who had a hell of a game? His partner in Quincy Williams. Quincy Williams had an unbelievable game.
I believe he was the highest rated, or one of the highest rated linebackers on PFF.
He was tackling, sacking, and then like even what was it? Who was it again? Who did he have that pass deflection against? I don't know, but it was in the end zone.
I think it was Cook, right?
It might have been either on Cook or something like that.
Yeah.
Unreal. That would make sense. Linebacker on the running back.
He was zipping around.
Yeah, he looked great, man. What a great signing.
He looks all like everything that extension was worth and more. So I'm pumped on that.
It wasn't that much, if I remember correctly.
No, I think it was like, I don't want to throw out a number and be completely wrong.
Yeah, I couldn't even. If you gave me a million guesses, I couldn't guess what his contract was.
No idea.
3 years, $7.5 million.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Made that up.
But yeah, I agree. CJ Mosley was a little worrying. And then honestly, like I guess my break is the offensive line play a little bit. Like I think we're still, and I mean, I guess there was a report that we're still going to have some growing pains on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously more so now with a different quarterback, but that offensive line just needs some time, man. And I think throwing Dwayne Brown in there may have been a mistake. I know Dwayne Brown is Dwayne Brown. He's going to, he's got the pedigree, he's got the resume for it, but Billy Turner had the reps, right? And like Billy Turner knew Rodgers. So, I mean, whoever was in there, we don't know how things would have happened, in the multiverse, different players, different outcomes, all things like that. But yeah, man, I think Dwayne Brown in there, it was just a little sketchy to kind of see him and the rest of the play.
He did feel responsible for the Rodgers injury too.
I mean, I get it. Yeah. It was his dude, and I'm sure he feels like that.
He had a quote too that was like, "I ruined it."
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you hit half a chip block. Yeah. Like, could have he engaged more or like got it cleaner? Yeah, but I don't know.
But again, if that's the design that's the design. Because both tackles were doing it. Mackay and him were doing it. So I mean, it's obviously the way that play is supposed to be run, right? So or allegedly, I don't know, but yeah. I mean, it's not any one person's fault. Things you can rarely pin things on football games on one exact person, but I mean, I'm sure he feels bad and he's going to go through it a little bit, but we got to have a quick memory because we got Cowboys coming up next week. But what about you, Ryan? What do you think your break was other than the glaring one?
Yeah. The big break, obviously, Aaron Rodgers should have had a Teflon Achilles tendon, but unfortunately, robots don't play this game. That was so dumb. I'm sorry. That was so dumb.
I like it.
A break, I would say, and this is just because we're so used to seeing just elite ball. I think Sauce Gardner wasn't playing like Sauce Gardner. He was probably playing.
Yeah.
He was still pretty good, and you know what? We can only really harp on some of the bad things he did, but like Josh Allen was avoiding him.
There was so much good. Yeah, so much good in what he did.
He even said after the game that he was like, I wasn't prepared for a night game. He said that. He was like, I didn't eat enough throughout the day. He said my legs felt heavy in the first half. He said, you know, he knew that his play wasn't up to par.
And I do think he made some changes. But again, his first game of his career, he gave up 60 yards to Stefon Diggs.
Stefon Diggs.
Who I don't know why. He just really irks me.
Oh,
he's getting up there.
He's a punk, dude.
Did you see when he scored? When he scored, he did the ski come at me, and he did the ski from
dude, he was staring down Sauce all day. He's a punk.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's a punk. He just like.
I'm not a fan.
What other receiver like do I just hate? Or not hate, but it's just like, you just irk me the wrong way. If you're on my team, I think you would be amazing, and I would love you to death.
Yeah.
I can't think of one right now, but he just irks me a little bit. Again, because he's playing my team, and I want. If he was a Jet, I would love him.
Love it.
Just chirping people. That would be my break, I think. Maybe Sauce Gardner not playing Sauce Gardner football.
I get that.
And I think he wasn't getting safety help. I think they were kind of shading safety help, kind of center field, which, I mean, Jordan
worked
Whitehead.
Out for him.
Yeah.
Worked out for Jordan Whitehead.
Right out there. And there was a few like run plays. And I mean, Sauce is not the most physical cornerback. He's not going to knock your block off, but there were a few plays where I'm like, you probably could have gotten that tackle. There was like one on Diggs where I think it went for 15, but Sauce probably could have gotten him down at like 8 or 9.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. And like I said, he mentioned that as well. Well, we'll do our gas quick. Dude, I'm just going to go with Garrett Wilson, man. I love that guy. What a stud. He needs to get thrown the ball more and more and more. Not when he's open. Just force feed it to him. Even when he's not open. Throw him the ball. He should be getting like 60 to 65 to 70% of the targets.
Wilson said that too afterward. He's like, it probably wasn't the best thrown ball, but like that, just got to get it to him, and he's gonna make a play. And
even Zach said that. He was like, that wasn't the best. That wasn't that bad of a ball. Like if
he said it was a bad ball.
It was like a foot and a half left. You know, there was a cornerback or a safety that jumped in between those two. You know, throw it over that guy and then kind of toward the pylon. It wasn't that bad of a ball. It's just, you know, in the NFL, it has to be perfect in order to be a reception. So I love Garrett Wilson. What an absolute leader off the field. He's constantly talking to Zach on the sidelines.
Yeah.
He's building him up. He's tapping him on the shoulders. He's talking to other guys about Zach, about how great Zach is, and he's going to be our guy. Like he was doing that last year at the end of the year when Zach Wilson looked like a lost puppy. Garrett Wilson came in like, I got you. He
was one of the only ones.
That dude is now
turned
the
to Mike White. Garrett Wilson was one of the
with Aaron Rodgers down, Garrett Wilson is the captain of the offense. Hands down, no questions asked.
I like that.
Feed that dude the ball.
And it doesn't matter. He's 22 years old.
It does not matter. He is Stephon Diggs. He is Justin Jefferson. He is Devontae Adams. He is the guy that you just throw the ball to, and you don't care where he is. You don't care how many guys are on him. Just throw it to him. He will catch it. Feed that man.
Yeah,
that's my.
He might be my favorite Jet this year.
Yeah.
Not only is he an absolute athletic freak, the way he caught that ball is ridiculous.
I've never even seen anyone do that before.
Batted it over. It's like can jam. Like he played can jam with the ball. Like pushed it out of the way.
That's a perfect analogy of what he did.
And then brought it over here. Like
it really is.
Unreal.
If he was getting graded as a cornerback on that play, he would have had like 100 on PFF.
Yeah.
Got the ball away from the defender's hands, knocked it away to a place where only he could catch it. It's unbelievable. But he might be my favorite Jet because not only is he a freak, he's passionate. Like, you can tell he wears the game on his sleeve.
Yeah.
And he's also, you ready for this, boys? He's compassionate. He feels for his teammates. Yeah, write that down, Gordon.
Well
he
done.
he feels for his teammates. Even last year, I remember the worst game Zach Wilson has ever played in, the Jaguars game.
Yeah.
The only person who wasn't like, I felt like he was a little kid at like timeout table, and Garrett Wilson was like talking to him.
Yep.
And he's like, yo, just get me the ball and we'll be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Garrett Wilson might be one of my favorite Jets this season.
I mean, he's probably our best receiver since, obviously, Brandon Marshall, I think, had a stud season when we first got him, and then
he's going to break all his records.
Oh, he's going to go down as the best Jet.
The fact that Zach Wilson's throwing the ball is a problem, I will say, especially for my fantasy team, because I drafted Garrett Wilson. Like, I would take him almost like a first rounder.
I drafted Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, same. And I also have J.K. Dobbins.
I also had J.K. Dobbins and
Team Achilles.
Tough for showing.
I think I'm going to change my name to Team Achilles.
Yeah.
It's too soon for me.
Too soon.
Yeah, that was.
Hit me with y'all's. I don't know if you just gave it, Brian, but hit me with y'all's gas.
No, I was gassing up your gas.
What stood? Yeah, you give me a little extra. What stood out to y'all?
My gas is Zach Wilson. That he went into an impossible situation.
Yeah.
And listen, the Matt Milano pick, that is classic Zach Wilson. Threw it right to him. But I just want to like look back at what Salah said. Like, the mistakes he made last night were not the mistakes he made last year. And last year, that obvious interception would have just completely unraveled him.
Yeah.
He came in to an impossible situation. The hopes of the franchise literally just crashed down and they took a cart 30 feet for him. Like, that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And
the cart coming out, you knew it was bad.
Yeah, he came in to, I cannot reiterate it enough, an impossible situation, and he succeeded. Was it the prettiest? Did he still dump some balls 5 yards in front of the line? Yes. But for virtually no prep time in an offense completely centered around somebody else, he came in and did what he needed to do. He did his job.
I couldn't agree more.
That's my guess.
Dude, he had some big third down throws.
Big third down. His fourth quarter, phenomenal.
That Allen Lazard, where he stepped up into the pocket, took a hit, and threw a effing dart right into Lazard's hands. I was like, that's a pro.
He also got rocked. Did you see?
He got rocked, dude.
He was going down. Like,
I thought he was going to go out. I goes, here. I said out loud,
I thought we were going to get 49er.
Yeah. And then, he threw that pass to Garrett Wilson down, what was on, like the 7-8 yard line or whatever it was. And I was watching somebody do a breakdown.
Where Garrett Wilson dove, he had to dive down to the ground to get it.
And everyone was thinking like, oh man, well, he underthrew him. Garrett Wilson to come back for it. He actually threw a back shoulder pass because he felt pressure from the cornerback.
Yeah.
Up the field. Where if he would have
the cornerback was bleeding in.
Exactly. If he would have threw it up the field, two things would have happened. Garrett Wilson would have had no head, or it would have been a pick. So, he felt that and threw it to the only spot that would have been successful. And Garrett Wilson, being Garrett Wilson, came up with it, of course. Throw that man the ball. And so I agree. Zach came into a situation that was set up for failure. And he kind of, he was able to, be successful.
The touchdown.
And I say, sorry, one second. I say this with all respect because he was my guess. He played like a kid trying to play like Aaron Rodgers. And it worked for this because the whole offense, the whole game plan was set up for Aaron Rodgers.
But he even said that. He was like, all I'm trying to do is play as close to as Aaron Rodgers as possible. That's what he said in his post-game interview.
Yeah, word. Me too. But like that, like the step up and hitting Lazard on I think it was like a 3rd and 10, and he hit him for 15 yards. That was very Aaron Rodgers. The corner, the post route, not the post route, the corner route that ended up being Garrett Wilson's touchdown. It was the same exact play
as the preseason touchdown.
Yeah. It was the ball thrown a little worse. Yeah, but like Garrett Wilson is a dog. So
you got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say that with the most respect possible, that he played as close to Aaron Rodgers as he could have.
Yeah, before we go to you, Gordon, I'm gonna shut up.
It's okay.
I'm gonna shut up. I'm sorry. Us winning that game might have saved any sort of season moving forward. Because if Aaron Rodgers goes out and you lose that game with Zach Wilson, I don't know what happens to that locker room. Obviously, I think these guys are resilient and they're professionals and we have the right guys in there. But man, you start 0-1, and I don't have a lot of hopes for next week in Dallas. But that would have been a very dangerous situation. So that was a blessing. Thank you, Xavier, for getting that dub, because things could have looked a lot more bleak here on this victory Tuesday than they would have.
Yeah, I mean, Wilson was going to be my guess, but you took it, so And that touchdown to Garrett Wilson wasn't audible. It was a designed run. He saw Wilson out there on an island. He said, "I'm going to get in the ball," and he got it to him. So the progress and the maturity of of Zach Wilson gives me hope that we're going to be okay this season, right? And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but gives me hope that we're going to be okay this season with Zach at the helm. But dude, my gas is that defense, man, right? What is the one thing we said about the defense last year? They don't take the ball away enough, right? Whitehead just went like this to all of his haters. He's like, who am I?
Yeah.
I'm a hat trick of interceptions this game. We made
it's more interceptions he's ever had in his career in a season.
He
made $250,000 last night. That was his, when they re-signed him, his incentive was to get 3 interceptions. He made that in the first game.
You know what? Let's go get some more. In the bag. Let's go get some more. And then, dude, there was one play. I've been trying to find a screen grab of it, but it was Michael Clemens tackling Josh Allen. And Michael Clemens tackled
Josh Allen and an offensive lineman.
He tackled Josh Allen and an offensive lineman to the ground.
AFM, baby.
This defense is scary. Even better than last year. Even better. So again, if we're looking at positives and looking at silver linings, the progression and maturity of Zach Wilson is definitely one of them, right? And then this defense is going to eat this year. We had 4 takeaways last year. I think we had less than 10 last year total, and we've already almost doubled that. So, I mean, I'm very excited for what this defense holds. And we didn't even have Carl Lawson out there. I still suspect Carl Lawson's going to get traded away, but we didn't even have Carl Lawson out there. JFM wasn't fairly quiet. It was Will McDonald didn't play many snaps. So
no,
we didn't even play all.
Clemens got a lot of snaps, man. He looked good.
Clemens got a lot of snaps.
He had the fumble too.
Clemens called
Quinnen,
Clemens caused a lot of damage in the backfield.
Clemens, I think Clemens hit. He's the one who hit Josh Allen for that fumble.
He forced the fumble, dude. I knew Clemens was big.
Also, nobody's calling it a butt fumble. What's up with that?
I know Sanchez.
He ran into the guy's butt.
He tweeted that he's tackled. Josh Allen ran into his own guy and fumbled.
Yeah, it was why am I getting all this heat? Josh Allen did the same thing.
Doesn't fit.
I think it's because Clemens was kind of in on the tackle a little bit, and it's just strictly Sanchez.
But I mean, how are you guys feeling about Zach? So we won the game in spectacular fashion, and dude, it's a script you couldn't have written any better, right? Our Hall of Fame quarterback goes down, team rallies behind the guy who's supposed to be the thrown to the side.
It's literally the pilot episode of Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, and then an undrafted free agent wins it in overtime on a punt return where there was a missed tripping call.
Dude, have some situational awareness too. Whoever that announcer was, I forget his name. So Xavier Gibson, an undrafted free agent rookie, just wins the game by running a punt back in overtime versus your rival. And then he goes, well, this game has an asterisk on it because look at that play right there. Yo, that was on the 15-yard line.
Okay, we kicked.
You don't
Okay,
think we
Greg the
would've-
leg kicks a chip shot.
You
And we
don't
win
think
the
we
game,
would have
sure.
kicked a field goal immediately and just won the
You
game?
could fart a ball through the
What
uprights
an
at 15
absolute
yards.
joke of a comment from that loser. Just trying to like take something.
And you know what? I very rarely give a shout out to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. They just completely ignored it.
Yeah, they ignored that. They were like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
sure."
they did. I don't like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I don't like them. I don't. I don't think they're good announcers. I hate Joe Buck.
I thought they were fun. I thought they were fun last night.
Huh?
Yeah. Their Garrett Wilson touchdown call that
was pretty high.
That was a great call, man. And then Troy Aikman coming up being like, "How did he do that?" That was amazing. Because I'm not a big Joe Buck fan either, but he was wearing about 6 inches of makeup.
Joe Buck baseball hits different. I will say that. Joe Buck is a great baseball announcer.
Yeah, man, he does it all, dude. You'll see him at golf every now and then.
He was on the Olympics too, I think, for a while.
All right, we might have to wrap it there before we get to, an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour plus here.
I don't think we're there.
Well, you know me.
Where are we?
You know me.
Quick. So came out today. We're going for some veteran quarterbacks. What do you think we're gonna do? Do you think we're gonna stick with Zach? Do you think we're gonna bring someone?
We're gonna stick with Zach. We're gonna 100% stick with Zach. And I'm just gonna say this: it's his 3rd year. He's been in the league a little bit. He's taken some hits. He's thrown some touchdowns. Don't let that dude get comfortable. If you let Zach Wilson get comfortable, you're gonna see how Zach Wilson was in college. Because when he was in college, he literally in his own mind was like, "I'm just better than all these people, and I'm gonna act like it." I think he got to the league, and it was like, I am a very small fish in a huge pond. And I look like a child. I'm 185 pounds soaking wet. I am just not ready for the NFL. He's put on weight. Mm-hmm. He's got experience. He's got Aaron Rodgers. He was making some of those small plays. He was reading the field other than that one pass. Don't let that dude that dude starts getting comfortable. And you were seeing him scramble every now and then that were like, those were good scrambles. You know, that one scramble where he even ran back like 30 yards and bounds?
Yeah.
That was a completely broken
and then threw the ball
play.
Away.
Yeah, and then threw it away. I was watching.
He did that in the Patriots game last year. That was a pick.
And it was a pick, exactly. So I was watching the tape afterwards, and they said that was supposed to be a screenplay to Michael Carter, and the Bills completely sniffed it out. So he could have easily tried to still throw it to Michael Carter, but he was trying to improvise, and he got out of the pocket, and he was like, "I'm way too far back. Let me just get rid of this, and let me get back to the line of scrimmage." And he did all those things. So that dude gets comfortable. I honestly think that. I said it to begin with. I think that we can have a positive year this year and do something more than what people think that we can do with Zach Wilson.
If you had to get a veteran quarterback, who would it be?
Gardner Minshew.
Okay. I agree. I agree with you there.
I think that dude's a winner. I think Minshew's a winner, bro.
Okay.
I think Jameis Winston kind of makes sense. I don't like it.
No.
But I think Gardner Minshew would be the guy for me. But I want to roll with Zach. I really do. Brian, what do you think?
I think that's the plan. I think. Yeah. I mean, people were still being optimistic and saying we'll go 3-3 through the first 6 games, right?
Yeah. Right.
The Jets have a terrible schedule to
we
start
make
off
it 3-3
the season.
to the bye with Zach Wilson. I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah.
We'd be pumped 100%. If it was A-Rod.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think we're riding with Zach. In my first stage of realizing Aaron Rodgers was hurt, I stupidly, I might have even texted you this or texted my brother or something. I was like, well, we know what the ceiling is with Zach Wilson and this defense, and that's 7 fucking wins. And 24 hours removed and taking myself out of being pissed off. I don't think that's the case. The Matt Milano, I would like to see what he was looking at the Matt Milano pick. I don't know.
I forget who it was. He was
cutting across.
There was supposed to be a guy running across.
They literally said
it was
nothing.
Underthrown.
They said it was a terrible read, and you don't even really. You just didn't see him. It was just a horrible read.
Yeah, it happens. Josh Allen had 3 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
But you said it. But you said it, dude. He didn't crumble, right? He did. Last year, that would have derailed. He probably would have thrown 2 more picks.
2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what he's doing, and I've heard a lot So, like, you know how I said I avoided all sports talk today? This is me avoiding it, and, like, I've talked about it all day. But I've heard a lot about, like, Aaron was completely bought in. Still is, I would imagine, completely bought in.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's going to take a while to kind of get over the shock of your season ending that quickly. But I also don't see him letting Zach hang out to dry.
Nah.
Whether that be like he's still in the quarterback room talking to him, or he's in a booth with a headset on, or hey, sitting on the sideline. Like, injured players can sit on the sideline.
Yeah.
Players who haven't dressed can sit on the sideline. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is letting Zach Wilson hang out to dry. And I don't know what that means right now. And I don't know what that means for, like, Aaron Rodgers moving from this is going to be my season to now I'm the ultimate backseat. But I think just having another voice that is not, like, berating or belittling him, I think he's going to do better than some people expect.
I like that you really said that, right? Because, like, I think one person in this whole thing that we haven't even discussed is Nathaniel Hackett, right? Like, I saw Nathaniel Hackett after the game, like, fully embraced Wilson and hugged him, and, like,
yeah,
MLF would have walked off the field last year and be like, all right, cool.
Well, MLF wouldn't have been on the field, Gordon.
Yeah, that's true. Booth MLF, he'd have been up with his headset. So, like, and you said it earlier too. Like, the game was tailored for Aaron Rodgers. Plays, everything Nathaniel Hackett was thinking of. Oh, we're gonna just let Aaron rip it. Aaron's probably gonna call some of his own plays, things like that. So now he had to switch. So first half, we saw the offense under Zach Wilson sputter a little bit, right? We didn't score. We kicked some field goals. Second half, I thought we came out swinging. Like you guys said, some phenomenal third down throws, switched it up a little bit. I want to see Wilson air it out a little bit more. I think, obviously, hopefully next week we'll see that against the Cowboys.
Yeah, where was McCall Hardman the entire game?
I thought about that when I was at work today. I was like, wait a second. Because what I said in my head, I was like, man, we didn't see Randall Cobb at all last night. And I was like, oh, I guess that's...
He was on the field a lot, but I don't think he got any
passes. I think he was the intended target for the interception.
Okay. But then, like you said, I was like, wait a second. We didn't see... I was like, the only person we really saw was Alan Lazard and Garrett Wilson. You know, we didn't even really see the tight ends that involved. So, you know, and I know we have Brees.
Apparently, Ruckert had a day blocking, though.
Dude, that dude can block.
I'm excited.
Good Lord, can he block?
He can just clean your clock.
He can flatten people.
He hits people hard.
But yeah, I think I mean moving forward, they're going to continue to work Brees back, you know, a little slowly. I'm sure, even though we gave him a decent amount of touches.
He played a lot more than I thought he would.
Yeah, I mean he was cooking, dude. And
when you gain 5 yards every time you touch the ball, even when you're hit in the backfield.
Yeah,
the stat was amazing. It was like 2 rushes for 138 yards, 52, 59.6 yards, a carry or whatever it was. That was hilarious to see. But yeah, that was surprising. I thought we saw a lot more McCole Hardman, even on like punt returns or kick returns, but I didn't see him. So
I want nothing but a Xavier Gibson.
Oh, inject him into my veins.
He's our return guy. So
that's done.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to see a week of Zach Wilson running it with the ones next week. I'm still optimistic, man. I'm still like, obviously, we lost Rodgers, but I agree. I think Rodgers, after he gets surgery, after he recovers a little bit, he'll be back. I hope he is. I hope, I would imagine he doesn't want his legacy to end like this, right? Like this was his chance.
He's not going out on the table.
Improve.
There's no way.
I can do this with another team. He's not ending it. No way.
Any competitor is not going out crumpled under your own weight.
No.
There's no way. And he's going to come back to the Jets. There's no other team he's coming back to.
He's got a 3-year contract.
And we're
doesn't he?
Is a 3-year contract?
Is it a 2-year contract? Yeah, it's a 3-year contract.
Two with
like an option or something.
Two with a year that could be voided, and then like a bunch of.
Okay, yeah, I knew he had the 2. So I mean, he's gonna come back to the Jets, and we're still gonna have those dudes on rookie contracts. Like the team is going to look. I think the tight end room is going to be more Ruckert and maybe Kuntz
I think
can come back and stuff like that.
Either
But
Conklin or Uzama.
I love how we're talking about next year already. It's beautiful. But like it's just
Sure.
we're gonna have
after a division win.
After a division win,
like
dude, next year is gonna be sick. I can't wait for that.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah. So yeah,
you can take the Jet fan out of.
Yeah, you can't change us. You can't change us.
Gordon, when's your early draft board coming out?
Yeah, we need to check. Dude, let's do actually a prediction video for next year.
Right now?
Yeah.
Let's just
when Rodgers is back. I bet we start 1-0, dude.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Man. All right, boys.
Take us out, Gordon.
Let's put a pin in it. Let's get ready to face the boys. Brian, you and me, we got some vested interest in this. Our wives are Cowboys fans. One of my good friends at work is a Cowboys fan. I told him today, I was like, man, I didn't see him till the end of the day. I was like, man, I've been looking for you to talk about how the boys destroyed the Giants, because I love that, because I hate the Giants. So the Cowboys did me a solid. And then I said, next week, man, we can't be friends. So.
All right.
I tried saying that to my wife. Didn't work the best.
I'm slowly turning Lauren into a Jets fan. So.
Oh,
we'll
God.
See.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone call the cops on me.
Yeah. Dude. Just let them live.
That's right. Let them live. It's all right. All right, boys. We'll see you back Thursday. Right? Yeah, Thursday, Friday. Who knows? JETS.
All right, Jets.
Jets.